The guys who you destroy just so deftly on your podcast, on your YouTube channel, the ones who you slice up, you're slicing them up. And I'm actually the real deal. I invest in companies when they're just starting out. I never take any money from founders. I wrote a book on angel investing because I made a ton of money doing that. And it's $10 or you can get it for free. I do teach a course, Angel University. It's only for accredited investors and we donate all the money to charity if there's any profits from it.
God bless you, Jason. Wow.
100,000. We did 100,000 in profits from that Angel University class. And the reason I teach those classes is because I want to see more people back founders. So I am like in your world, you have like the Lex Luthors and the supervillains.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I am the Man of Steel. I am the Dark Knight.
Yes.
I am the actual real deal who actually has succeeded and teaches a course, but the course is $100 or $300 and basically it's essentially free when you think about it.
It's donated to charity.
It's donated to charity because we just want to make sure that those accredited investors actually show up for the course, right? So we charge them $100 or when we do it in person, I think we charged $500 and that included a $300 dinner afterwards. And like it just literally we broke even on it, right? So anybody who's charging you $5,000 for a course or $10,000 for these courses,
you have to be,
and they're nobodies who've never accomplished anything. You have to really just type in their name, Ty Lopez, JT Fox, Brad, whatever that guy's name was. You know them better than me.
Kevin, David. We could go down the list.
And then just write review or scam.
Yep.
At the end of their name and then, or Better Business Bureau and just look at what people are saying.
Oh yeah.
If you take the moment to do that, you'll find all these people, I think in almost all those cases, who say these people are scam artists who are trying to grift. They're grifters.
They're grifting on, unfortunately, the lowest economic ladder of society.
Yes.
And their goal is to take your money. If you don't know what it takes to be successful and you're trying to improve yourself, they'll come to you with polished up, with all the trappings of success. Unfortunately, we do live in like a visual world now where perception is reality. You don't need a background. All you need is a paid article in Yahoo News from PR Wire or whatever.
That's the scam, right? They put up fake stories using, people don't know this, but there are PR wires. Basically a way to put a press release out, but you put the press release out and these grifters all seem to have, I think we should deconstruct the grift. I was thinking about how we could be the most helpful together. Because this is kind of like a super team right now. It's like, you're like this Superman, I'm like this Batman. We could make the Justice League here. I kind of feel like this is a moment where we could both put our skills together to deconstruct for the audience how you're getting grifted. You know you're getting grifted, I think. One thing is when you see the Instagram and somebody like Ty Lopez or JT Fox, what they do is, I think the technique is this manipulation technique, this influence technique, is to put themselves in proximity to other powerful people so they get the halo effect, and then to share the trappings of wealth. So somebody like JT Fox has all these pictures of themselves. I noticed JT Fox had a picture of himself with Julia Roberts.
With Mark Wahlberg, and then other people who I think you can pay them $50,000 or $25,000. They'll show up for anything. Okay, you're so right, but can I tell you how right you are?
Okay, tell me how right I am.
Let me tell you how this grift works in actual practice with a specific example. There's a man named Clint Arthur that I exposed like about 8 months ago to a year ago. Clint Arthur was a guy who basically ran these groups, and he ran a fake Harvard speech event where he would go rent out a room in Harvard, sell out a bunch of tickets. Everyone in the audience had bought a ticket to speak, but they're sitting in the audience as if people are showing up to watch. And one by one, they all go around the podium, speak at the podium. It's all recorded. And then all of them put it on their marketing material saying, I spoke at Harvard. Talk about proximity to credibility.
Oh my Lord, it's such a perfect grift. Now Harvard. When you put, you basically are co-opting Harvard.
Yeah.
So they all go to Harvard and they spoke at Harvard. They were asked to speak at Harvard. You could say Harvard speaker.
Yep.
They got
kicked out of Harvard. They moved to West Point. They got kicked out of there. Now they were speaking during COVID. They were speaking at the CNN Center. They went to the CNN Center. Not obviously it's not approved, but they rented out like the hotel room or whatever. There's a CNN banner in the background. The guy's making he cleared $1 million on sales of this event.
Okay, so this is the technique. People put themselves next to something that we all respect in the world. And they hope to get that credibility by association. This is the technique. So let's put this technique as credibility by association. But when you unpack it, you realize they have no affiliation. Now, compare and contrast this. I, as an angel investor, was so lucky to have invested in so many great companies that Stanford wrote a case study on my ability as an angel investor and networker. They actually wrote a case study. So you can go to the Stanford Business School. There is a case study written about my career. This is how you are manifested by one of these business schools. You either went to that school, you were a teacher at that school, or they wrote a case study on you.
Right.
That's really the only way to be affiliated.
Oh, yeah.
To be totally honest. But these folks have hacked it. Do you ever wish you invested early in some of the best performing IPOs of 2019 and 2020? Well, our crowd investors did invest early in many of those awesome IPOs. With our crowd, accredited investors can invest directly and easily in startups early before they IPO or get bought. Our crowd investors have benefited from companies IPOing like Beyond Meat and Lemonade. How about those returns, right? And some of the companies have been acquired by buyers like Intel, Nike, Microsoft, and Oracle. The investment professionals at our crowd have already invested hundreds of millions of dollars in over 200 companies with dozens of exits to show for it. Today, you can join our crowd's investment in Nexa 3D, a 3D manufacturing innovator that's shaping the future of a projected $150 billion market. Nexa 3D's best-in-class solution gives customers a productivity advantage of 20x their competitors at up to 85% lower costs. You can get in early on Nexa 3D and other unique opportunities at ourcrowd.com/twist. I recently wet my beak and I placed a bet on Cyabra, a company that uses AI to uncover disinformation and expose fake news on social media. What a great idea. You can wet your beak by going to ourcrowd.com/twist. Signing up is free. Go ahead and do that right now. Okay, let's get back to this amazing episode.